Moments when we inscribe with unwavering conviction a new chapter of justice, dignity, and restitutions. In my conclusions, on behalf of ECOSOC, I'd like to thank all our collaborative partners, Ammi Africa, Trust Africa, Feminine, the Ethiopian CSOs Councils, and all African diasporas present here with us, as well as all academia and intellectual and international allies who stands with us in this righteous pursuit. Your unwavering commitments, search for justice, and an Africa to find African-led solutions fortified our collective result. My God bless you all, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Presiding Officer Budali. We are mindful that we are approaching that time where we need to take a bit of a break. But as I mentioned, we are setting that up outside. But we'd like to proceed with our final keynotes address. So we're just doing a little switch in the program. So we'll hear from our keynotes speaker, and then we'll go take a sizable break, get some exercise in, then come back, and then we'll continue the panels and proceed from there. And so, personally, let me take this opportunity to thank everybody on the podium. Please help me to appreciate our panelists, because I will now be inviting Mr. Briggs Bomba, Programs Director at Trust Africa, to come up to this stage and introduce our next keynote speaker.
Thank you, Nana. Can I invite the panel to join the floor? And so Khalid spoke of the global African family, and that's exactly what we have in this room. We have diversity. And as we transition to our keynote address, I would like to invite, it's not just men in suits or speeches, so I'd like to invite my sister Kim from Teaching Africa Institute, Teaching Arts Institute. We collaborated beautifully in New York at the Summit for the Future. I'd also like to invite Heran. If you could please come forward so that we have a bit of an artistic transition to the next keynote address. So is Heran in the room? Yeah, please come through. This has not been rehearsed. It's an artistic transition, whatever they can offer in terms of transitioning us before I introduce our keynote. So I'll start with you, Heran. You are from Ethiopia. We are in your hands. Please.
All right, thank you so much. I would actually like for us to move a little bit. We have been sitting here for a while, and just to loosen up our bodies. Can we do that? Are you ready for that? All right. So let's start with a few shoulder rolls. Can we just roll our shoulders? And just be aware of your breath. So as we inhale, bring those shoulders up. And exhaling, bring them down. Yes. All right. Lovely. Now, I'd like to do another movement with the breath. And you can remain seated. But you will feel the effect, yes? Maybe you can help hold the mic for me. So I want us to use our hands, yes? As we inhale, slowly lift your arms up, keeping your elbows relaxed. And exhale, slowly bring them back down. Okay, can we do that again? Shoulders relaxed, elbows relaxed, fingers relaxed, wrists relaxed. Reach and get a little stretch. And release it back down. Thank you. We'll get more of that later. Just to loosen up a little. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I needed that.
Oh, power. pirates, they come right by. Sold I from the merchant ships. Sing along, people. Right before they sold I to the bottomless pit. But my hand, it be strong, straight from the hand of the Almighty. We walk forward this generation triumphantly. Won't you help me sing? Sing along, y'all. This song of freedom, 'cause all I've ever had, oh, redemption songs. You know that in the room, if you were born against your will in the historic diaspora, please stand. Because I know you had an awful long journey. We've got over here, we've got the Caribbean. I see the United States. We've got Brazil. Clap for them. Clap for us. Thank you for being here and being the face of my ancestors' wildest dreams. You know, we sit in our high tables and we have plenary sessions, but when my ancestors, when it were in those fields, working as human cargo against their will, it was only the song. It was the neo-spiritual that kept them alive, that helped us to sustain, and we cannot forget that. How could we ever forget? As we continue, a luta continua, with this new reparatory justice effort, we have to remember the techniques that sustained us. They will continue to sustain us. And so I want to invite you all to stand and sing along with us. We shall overcome, because we shall overcome, and we will need that energy as we begin this year together. So stand wherever you are if you have the capacity and sing with us a song that my ancestors used to liberate us. We will need that song as we continue. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Thank you for bringing my ancestors into the room.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, combining raw power with precision engineering, all backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. Climb inside a Tundra and experience the uncompromising strength. With its available iForce Max engine, the Tundra delivers exceptional power, torque, and towing capacity. Plus, the spacious and high-tech cabin keeps you connected on the run. Or check out a Tacoma. Agile, dependable, and unstoppable. The Tacoma's designed for those who go beyond the trails. Stay ahead of the pack with available off-road features like crawl control, or break out your tunes with the available portable JBL speaker. Toyota trucks are built to last, year after year, mile after mile. So outlast every adventure and outlive the moment. Buy a Tundra or Tacoma today. Visit buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. Or stop by your local Toyota dealer to find out more. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Charm City, it's time to warm up the season with a cozy getaway to Annapolis and Anne Arundel County, Maryland. Here you'll find everything you need for the perfect escape, from the excitement of Arundel Mills and live casino to the vibrant dining scene of downtown Annapolis. With great shops, delicious seafood, and more, it's the place to see this winter. Stay in the comfort with over 12,000 hotel rooms. It's all waiting for you in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. Plan your winter getaway today at visitannapolis.org. And remember, in Maryland, you are welcome.
You're rocking with the most awesomest.
The Carl Nelson Show.
You're rocking with the most awesomest. All right, let's go. Keep rocking.
And Grand Rising family, and happy King Day. Thanks for starting your week with us again. Later, Contra Costa College professor Manu Ampin will check into our classroom. Professor Ampin who completed his thesis on Dr. King, will discuss the revolutionary aspects of Dr. King. But before we hear from Professor Ampin, Garveyite Sengar Baye will shed light on President Biden's historic pardon granted to Marcus Garvey. But to get us started on this King Day 2025, Baltimore activist Haki Ammi is here. Grand Rising, Brother Haki, welcome back to the program.
Greetings and grand rising to you, my brother Carl Nelson. It's an honor to be joining you to lead off this Power Packed edition with my brother Sengar Baye and Baba Manu Ampin. So it's just an honor. He was a brother Ampin that spent some time in Baltimore. So so we appreciate you having him and bringing him back here to this listening audience, and for your work throughout the years, enlightening us and enlightening and empowering the Baltimore and D.C. audience. We owe a gratitude to you for your time and energy and work in doing so.
All right. Thanks for the kind words. Professor Ampin, actually, I think we're in Morgan State as well, but he's going to talk about Dr. King, King Day 2025, correct. Brother Haki. So I know that the King Day Parade in Baltimore has been postponed or canceled. Yeah. And I think one in D.C. is still going on. Can you shed some light on these parades today in both areas?
Well, so what the D.C. parade, of course, so the Baltimore has been canceled, but what everyone is doing for the D.C. area is basically meeting at Metropolitan AME. Now, many know Frederick Douglass spoke at that church early on, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, at Rosa Parks. I think did they bring a body there or something? I just heard someone mention something to that effect. But Metropolitan AME is where they're not doing the march and rally part, but they're going to meet there. I believe that's going to be at 10 a.m. because the rally part was supposed to be at 10, so they're just going to move everything. They're just going to move everything over. They're just going to move everything over to Metropolitan AME this morning. So, so that's a good opportunity for those, in the Baltimore and D.C. area. But if for those that are not going, but there is some buses. I must mention Baltimore Community Chapter, man. Yeah, bus will, I don't know if they're going to leave at 7, but they're going to meet. It's called the Bridge to Nowhere in Baltimore. And there are some other buses that, other groups are having, at Shiloh, whatever one is closer to you to get there to this historic event. But, I wanted to mention, just in case if anyone is, not, up to going to D.C., Reginald F. Lewis Museum is having something, and I know Senator Joe Carter will be there for that. So just want to, it's time for us to come together by any means necessary to, just learn what's going on in this society and listen to different voices, be open and receptive to learn our history and our culture so that we can empower ourselves. True.
So true. Brother Haki, you've been very active in the Baltimore, D.C. area.
Right.
What are some things that are going on in Baltimore and the DMV? And also, you're also a board member of the Black Caucus Foundation in Maryland. Right. What's some of the Maryland Black Caucus priorities that they've set out for this year?
Certainly, and I think it's essential. I'm sort of becoming like a bridge call, for both Baltimore as well as the state of Maryland in my position here. But, just having the background that I did, for years, I was elected what's called a Central Committee in the city of Baltimore, local Democratic State Central Committee. And so I learned a lot, in terms of, the political processes and, just really who the people are, how things are done, I'd say how the game is played on some levels. But, I certainly extended those experiences, and I was I would say, justly rewarded my senator and Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam when she was my senator in District 44A. I was in 44A. She nominated me to be on what's called the Maryland Black Caucus Foundation. Now, many people, and Carl, you've broadcast live from the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. I know others have broadcast. I've seen Reverend Al, you, and then Reverend Al. Many know about the Congressional, but there's also the Maryland Black Caucus Foundation. Now, we're not necessarily too involved in policy, but I certainly am in Annapolis at different times of the year, supporting many different initiatives. And, I testified a few times, but, I'm not, sometimes since I'm, have to be, very diplomatic, I know I have to, just sort of just learn and listen and just get a good, well-rounded education on what goes on. And so I certainly was there for the opening day session, and then one of the other newspapers had like a town hall forum in Annapolis as well. So spending some time just learning and listening and, knowing what my actual power is, what organizational support we actually have, and how laws are changed, and how advocacy works, and how who people listen to, who people respect, and how much power we do actuate. And so, but, several key things. And, the Maryland, of course, the Black Caucus is one of the largest caucuses. Now, there may have been some changes. So we somehow, our numbers are 60. I just saw news because sometimes I don't recall the updated numbers because things change with how many members of the Black Caucus there actually is. But, 60 members there. And but some of the key things that and I would encourage everybody to look at the Black Caucus website to get some of the actual bills. But some of the major highlights was what's called the YES Act, Youth Equity and Safety Act. And this was interesting. This was put together by Senator Joe P. Carter last year. I mean, many interesting people. I'm sorry, not last year, but that was a reparations thing. But many individuals have worked on this, including the public defender office. Have worked on issues surrounding and creating adults, labeling children as adults in almost every case and every scenario. And so we have to get down to the bottom of that. And Maryland incarcerates more than black youth than Mississippi. I just heard Senator Carter say that recently. And so that stood out. There's also, talking about prescription drugs. And, and it's in the call because I recall like maybe a month ago when you had that gentleman on with the app that does something to the effect where it stops when you're driving, when you're driving. But there's a bill dealing with that would downgrade the number of primary violations that allow for police to pull over motorists. And so I know you had someone, because I recall calling in because I went to the public defender's discussion where Dr. Tyrone Powers was speaking about, motorists being pulled over. So those are some of the things. And a commission to study reparations, Delegate Alethea McCaskill and, my delegate, Brother Malcolm Ruff, soon to be Senator Ruff. He has put in his name to be the next senator, taking Jill Carter's spot in Baltimore. So we're looking forward to watching all these. And in 2024, Senator Carter passed a bill. I'm sorry, she submitted a reparations bill that did not pass. So, and I got that from some different reports. And so the chair of the Black Caucus, Sister Janelle Wilkins, has stated that this reparations issue is an issue that Black Marylanders are talking about in town hall. So sometimes, we think that people aren't listening to the grassroots individuals, but many times, if you make enough noise, people will start listening, and they know they have to address your issues.
Let me ask you this, though, before we get deeper into the issues. Do you ever see the day when the area from Baltimore, straight line from Baltimore to Washington, D.C. to the DMV becomes one contiguous area, kind of like a metroplex like Dallas? Got Fort Worth, Arlington, and some other cities around there, and it's just one huge metropolitan area. Do you think that'll ever happen in your lifetime?
Well, interesting that you mentioned that there is a tentative train, if you will. So it's called maglev. I'm not sure if everybody knows about it. It stands for magnetic levitation, and actually there is. It possibly could be 10, 20 years. I'm not sure of the timeline and approval. The approval process of how or when that actually will manifest, but tentatively it could be a thing where you could get to New York, I think something in like 30, 40 minutes, and something about DC in 10 to 15. So, that's, an interesting concept that certainly would, totally expand Baltimore, because right now many individuals do still live. Many people work in Baltimore for affordable housing, but they work in D.C. because of the government jobs and the contractors, et cetera, et cetera. So, I know, one of the key issues has been the red line, which could possibly connect some of those that commute to D.C. out to some of the, West Baltimore County areas. And so those are the things that people are looking at, but definitely people should look into the maglev initiative. But what I will say, and I know Reverend Dr. Kobe Little, he actually went to Japan a few months ago to get a good understanding of how that worked, and a few others, Paris Brown, Adrian Poole, a few others went to Japan to take a stronger look at that, and how it will affect the Black communities that these are.
Hold that thought right there, Brother Haki. We got to take a short break. I'll let you finish your thought on that. And also when we come back, I know you were a avowed Democrat, and most of the elected officials in Baltimore, Black officials, and not just Baltimore, but all over, behind the Democratic Party. Now that Biden's on his way out in another few hours, if you reflect back, and can you name anything that he's done that you would think that's sort of positive or progressive? I'll let you answer those questions when we get back from the short break at 14 after the top of the hour. Family, you too could join our conversation with Brother Haki. Reach out to us at 800-450-7876. We'll take your phone calls in 4 minutes right here in Baltimore on 1010 WOLB. Or if you're in the DMV, we're on FM 95.9 and AM 1450 WOL, where information is power.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. So get in a Tundra with the available iForce Max hybrid engine, delivering exceptional torque and towing capacity. Or check out a Tacoma. With available off-road features like crawl control, it can take you beyond the trails. Toyota trucks are built to last. So don't wait. Get yours today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Charm City, it's time to warm up the season with a cozy getaway to Annapolis and Anne Arundel County, Maryland. Here you'll find everything you need for the perfect escape, From the excitement of Arundel Mills and live casino to the vibrant dining scene of downtown Annapolis with great shops, delicious seafood, and more, it's the place to see this winter. Stay in the comfort with over 12,000 hotel rooms. It's all waiting for you in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. Plan your winter getaway today at visitannapolis.org. And remember, in Maryland, you are welcome.
Grand Rising family and happy King Day 2025. I guess it's Brother Haki. Brother Haki's an activist out of Baltimore. And Brother Haki, I'll let you finish your thought. Then tell us, because you're involved in politics quite a bit with the Black Caucus Foundation in Maryland, your thoughts on Joe Biden's outgoing today. The next few hours, he'll only be the president for the next few hours. If you can think of anything positive that he's done, and if you can update us, do you know if he's pardoned Marilyn Mosby yet?
No. The short answer, unfortunately, our dear sister Marilyn Mosby, who will have a birthday in 2 more days, unfortunately was not amongst that recent list with the Garvey that would have been powerful. And Sister Kimber Smith, I don't understand, who's and what's the powers that be that is causing President Biden to not pardon Marilyn Mosby. So it is a painful, dual position that I share if I have, anything that I can say that was good. And that's, it's unfortunate, and as I mentioned, as you alluded, and about the commutations, and of course, Senghor Baye Garvey, ninth successor to Garvey, will share about that. But what I will say, for me and my organization, of course, I'm the president of the Teaching Artists Institute, but I'll know that I've heard even with A. Dwight Pettit, and it's great you always have him on, great, brilliant lawyer mind, and he and several others have spoke about the federal judges. I believe it's 235, something around there, and 63 black judges, 40 of them are women. Black women, shall I say. So that, some people, that certainly can resonate with many that understand the role. And I'm sure, and Marilyn Mosby has spoke about this in terms of advocacy and not just paying attention to the city, who's running for city and county, but even these local judgeships